A shooting landed a father and son in the hospital, while police say this never should have happened.
Millions of people who depend on SNAP benefits, they're waiting to see if they'll get money for food. What's happening today that could make a difference?
And there's still time to plan a Thanksgiving getaway. The top spots you can fly to on a budget. Those stories and more on today's edition of The Lineup. It's Monday, November 3rd, 2025.
Hey, everyone. I'm NBC 10's Keith Jones.
And I'm NBC 10's Erin Coleman. Let's get you up to speed with what you need to know today, starting with a shooting in Holmesburg. A 14-year-old boy and his father, they were caught in the crossfire of two rival groups.
NBC 10's Brenna Weick is at police headquarters with what led up to the shooting.
Police say they were caught in the crossfire when two other groups started shooting. Now the innocent bystanders are the ones in the hospital, while police search for those who pulled the trigger. Officers say the shooting started around 6:30 last night. It was a few blocks away from Cottman and Torresdale Avenues on Vista Street. Police say the 14-year-old and his 40-year-old dad were outside talking to friends when some kind of fight started between two other groups on the street. They say they pulled guns and started shooting, stray bullets hitting the father-son duo. The boy was shot in the abdomen, his dad hit in the abdomen and arm. At last check, they're both stable. Police collected multiple shell casings from the street and say they are using surveillance footage to try to narrow down their search for the suspects. As of right now, they do not think the intended targets or the shooters were wounded. They are asking the public for any information that might lead to arrests. Reporting from Philadelphia Police Headquarters, Brenna Weick, NBC 10 News.
Grief counselors will be at Neshaminy High School today as students try to cope with the loss of two classmates. The teens died in a crash in Warrington Township alongside another boy on Friday night. A fourth boy is in the hospital and is expected to recover.
At least 3 burned Montgomery County townhomes are being inspected today to see if families can move back in. The Heritage Park Complex buildings in Trapp caught fire around 2 o'clock Sunday morning. It took 2 hours for firefighters to get the fire out. Firefighters say no one was hurt. We're told everyone who lived in the building is now staying with relatives. A Camden County community is coming together to help out victims of an apartment building fire. More than 100 people were left without a place to live when the fire started at the Autumn Ridge apartment complex Saturday morning. Some of them go to C.W. Lewis Middle School in Blackwood. That school is accepting donations now for the victims. They're asking for new socks, new underwear, gently used clothing, and winter jackets. Hundreds crowded into Rittenhouse Square to remember Philadelphia radio icon Pierre Robert.
Friends and fans, they gathered outside the WMMR studios to honor Pierre's legacy. The Celebration of Life event was hosted by the Preston and Steve Show. Robert was with WMMR since 1981. He was known for saying greetings, citizens, to his listeners. Robert suddenly passed away Wednesday at 70 years old. Officials believe he died of natural causes. Well, we are just a day away from the polls opening in New Jersey. The biggest race in the state, of course, is for governor.
You'll have to decide between Democratic Representative Mikey Sherrill or Republican Jack Ciattarelli. Both candidates, they're making their final push for your vote. Sherrill spent her Sunday morning speaking with voters in South Jersey. Our cruise at the Hilton Garden Inn along the waterfront at Camden. She was joined by Senator Cory Booker. They both spoke to supporters about rising prices in New Jersey. Sherrill also joined by former President Barack Obama on the campaign trail. The former president came to Sherrill's rally in Newark on Saturday. Obama called on New Jersey voters to, quote, point America in a better direction. Republican candidate Jack Ciattarelli also made a tour stop in Ocean County yesterday. Our crew spotted him at Capone's Gourmet Pizza and Pasta in Toms River. Ciattarelli says that he's going to make New Jersey more affordable to live in.
In Delaware, a Thanksgiving food drive begins today. DART's annual Stuff the Bus food drive kicks off in Rehoboth Beach. The goal here to literally stuff the bus with non-perishable food items. You can donate today by going to the Giant at Lighthouse Plaza. Donations accepted between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. There will be more Stuff the Bus food drives throughout the month if you can't make it today.
Donations like that, they're extremely helpful for people who don't have SNAP benefits anymore. The Trump administration has until noon today to say if it's going to follow a judge's order over SNAP funding.
Yeah, so the federal judge ruled the administration must use that contingency fund to get the food assistance to millions of Americans. NBC 10's Lili Zheng is in West Philly, where 3 Democratic members of Congress will be calling out the president, I should say, and Republicans over the money.
Court orders issued last week say SNAP has to be funded. The question before us this morning is how and how soon. This as organizations locally as well as nationwide brace for impact. Just like Babashi here in West Philly, this is where 3 U.S. House representatives will tour this morning, making the point that there are billions set aside by Congress for SNAP. Under a court order issued Friday, the Trump administration has to make a full SNAP payment by the end of today or partial payment by Wednesday. In order to make that full payment, more money has to be drawn from contingency reserves. The administration has until noon to report how they will comply. Now, in another court order from a separate lawsuit, the administration also has until today to consider whether it will authorize at the minimum reduced SNAP benefits for November by using emergency reserve funds. That is part of a lawsuit filed by 23 states, including New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania. The Agriculture Department previously argued that you cannot legally use that money to cover regular benefits. President Trump was asked about this weekend about moving money around as it relates to SNAP.
It's a much easier situation than that. If they vote to open the country, it's opened up immediately. We don't even have to think about that.
And later on this morning, we expect to hear from U.S. Representatives Dwight Evans, Brendan Boyle, and Mary Gay Scanlon here at Babashi. It, like other places, has asked for donations as it prepares to feed more families. Reporting in West Philadelphia, Lili, Zheng, NBC 10 News.
Oh, Americans, they are placing more of the blame for the shutdown on the GOP.
Yeah, a new NBC News poll shows a combined 52% of voters say President Trump and/or congressional Republicans are responsible for the stalemate. 42% blame Democrats. 4% blame all of them. The poll also shows President Trump's approval rating is slipping. 43% of those surveyed said they think the president's doing a good job. That's 4 points lower than NBC's last poll.
The Affordable Care Act, that's a big reason the shutdown is continuing. Premium payments are expected to double as tax credits expire. Without the credits, cost could increase by $1,000 a year, or in many cases, much more than that. Democrats are fighting to extend the tax credits. You can enroll for Obamacare now through January 15th. Airports continue to face major delays as the shutdown leads to air traffic controller shortages. Flights, they were delayed 2 to 3 hours at Newark Liberty Airport yesterday. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is warning that travelers will see more flight disruptions the longer controllers go without a paycheck. On Friday, the FAA said nearly half of major air traffic control facilities were experiencing staffing shortages. Well, we got a consumer alert to tell you about. There is still time to plan a quick, cheap getaway over the Thanksgiving holiday. Yeah, a new report from Travel and Leisure lists the top cities with average flight and hotel costs under $600. Minneapolis offering the cheap trip at about $432. It's a hot spot for the holiday events and shopping of the Mall of America. Seattle, Denver, Atlanta, and San Francisco rounded out the top 5. Hey, another sign of the holiday season, the Wanamaker Light Show and Dickens Village, they're coming back this year. Listen, there were some real concerns that the decades-long tradition would be gone for good when the Macy's at 13th and Market shut down earlier this year. More than 1,000 people across the city donated to Save the Light Show campaign to ensure that that would not happen. Organizers will announce the official schedule for the Light Show in Dickens Village today. The announcement will be at the Wanamaker building at 1 o'clock. This makes my heart smile. I know it does for you, too, because it's a tradition for so many families. Yeah. And we didn't know if it was going to continue. That's right. Yeah. My mom used to work at Macy's, and we'd literally drive into the city just to see this. To see it. Cool. Yeah, to go through it. I remember as a kid. So I think I got to take my kids this year. Absolutely. Because I haven't done it. So and do it while they can, too, because they keep asking for donations for year over year. Hey, we might have seen you. We might have seen you in South Philadelphia over the weekend. Yep, Erin and I were MCs of the Philadelphia Heart Walk again Saturday morning. The walk gets the community active while supporting heart disease research. It also funds CPR training so more people can be prepared in case of an emergency. And I think the organizers are telling us anywhere from 10 to 14,000 people showed up for this event. It's incredible. The vibes are really high. The weather was cold. It didn't matter. It was so much fun. I mean, every year, it's November, right? So it is really cold, like hand warmers, multi-layers cold, but you wouldn't even know it by the number of people that come out. And I think just, anecdotally looking out, I was like, there's got to be more people this year. Sea of people looking out at the microphone. It was really cool. Yeah, all there for a good cause. That's right. All right, that does it for today's edition of The Lineup. For Erin Coleman, I'm Keith Jones. You can get NBC 10 News updates right here on the NBC 10 app. You can also catch us weekday mornings from 5 to 7 a.m. Have a great day. We'll see ya.